Okay, so here is the kit that I'm going to take for this walk. I don't expect it to be too much longer than 2 or 3 hours. It's always good just to make sure you've got what you need, just in case you don't bring something that you want. So in this case, I've got a decent rucksack here. I've got a coat. Even though it's going to be a warm day, I'm just bringing this in case I need something to sit down on, or if it gets really windy around the cliffs. Always important to bring a water source, especially on a hot day. Just got a snack there to keep me going, a couple of other snacks. Hat, really important. Hand gel, just in case you're picking anything up. And then sun cream, because again it's going to be a warm day. My binoculars, hopefully to see some wildlife, and then a map. So whenever you plan to go on a kind of a medium length journey like we're going to be doing, it's always a good idea just to plan where you want to go. In this case, you can see here I've marked it out using this red pen, and this area here is the Gannel Estuary. Now, an estuary is tidal, meaning that sometimes you can walk on it and sometimes you can't, because the tide will be in and it will just be like it will be impassable, completely impassable. So good to have a map, but also really good to make use of readily available tools like websites which tell you the weather, and most importantly when you're doing this kind of a walk, the tide times. So I've planned this walk to go out when the tide is going out, so that I know that when I have to cross here and here, I can get across and it'll be okay. So make sure you do that, have an idea where you're going, look for any maybe alternate routes, and if something is closed, sometimes that happens, if a path is closed, maybe just that's why you have a map, so you can change your route if you need to. But this is the rough plan of where we'll be going. Okay, so this is the start of our walk today, just across from the Gannel, and you can see that the tide is going out, so it's the perfect time to walk. The bridge is pretty low, and the day is really, really beautiful. It's a perfect day to go for a good walk around the coast. So on these flats, you can see a variety of birds. See a lot of little egrets down here, and occasionally a cattle egret, which is not pretty rare to find. I think they come from South Africa. So yeah, you can see those. There's a lot of pools in the landscape where they're looking for little fish. Curlews, birds with the really long beaks, they're another thing that you can see here. And one of my favourites are turnstones. There'll be a lot of them kind of running around just by the side of the river going out looking for little morsels of food. And as we come along in the hedgerows, you can expect to see a whole variety of birds. I can already hear goldfinches tweeting away. Sound shrill of a wren, the alarm noise that they sometimes make. You can often hear those. And who knows what else, but so much to see. Hoping to see some stone chats, which are one of my favourite birds. So I'm now out onto the mud flats, just at the end of kind of the narrow part of the walk. It starts to open up a bit. We've got the sea kind of not too far in front. If I was walking this a few hours earlier, it would have been pretty wet. So yeah, you've got to make sure you time when it is you're going to do your walk. Often it will just be impossible, but yeah, it's a beautiful day. Landscape's changing all the time. We're just crossing over to the kind of beach area now, and as you can see, it is fairly muddy. So really important to have the right footwear for this. Keep an eye out for tracks to follow. See, we've got some bird feet here. Can't tell what they are, but it's cool to see. So we're just moving further inland now, going to hook up with the coast path. See a different landscape from that point of view. Someone riding a horse. So the landscape changes yet again as we move into this piece of woodland with crows with their nests up in the trees. Make a right old mess, those things, but they do their job. It's the perfect time of the year to get all kinds of birds. As the courting season is on. You can see bluebells are starting to appear. So much green from where we were a few months ago. Insects moving around. Noise of bees just always makes me that much more happier. Expect to see some butterflies as well, possibly speckled wood. Kind of likes these kind of shady woodland areas, kind of glades to hop around through and then sit in a little bit of sun. Soon we'll be joining up with land owned by the National Trust, who own quite a lot of the coast paths around Cornwall. Do a really good job of maintaining them. A lot goes into the management of the land for walkers and probably more importantly for the environment and the wildlife that is there. And we'll probably see some examples of that later on. And there's the estuary, so we're just walking up where we've been. So you should be able to see this kind of hill along just from the path here. This is a kind of an example of an area that's being managed for the wildlife. You could expect to see adders possibly on here, looking maybe a little bit long, but there will be patches that will be perfect for an adder this time of the year. They're in the process of laying out, where they're just kind of lying around on the floor, reabsorbing energy from the sun, kind of building their strength up to make the first shed of their skin. And then once they do that, they will look for a partner and mate. You guys sometimes get courtship battles between two males. I'd love to see that. I imagine it's one of the best things that you can see in the British countryside in terms of a wildlife experience. Haven't seen it yet. But yeah, just worth keeping an eye out for them. They're quite lazy at this time of the year. They're still building up those supplies. Still kind of getting used to the new season, really. And as you can see over here, here's the estuary. What a view! Good place to do some bird watching. You can expect to see stone chats chirping at the top of these branches. Beautiful little birds, make a noise with like two stones literally rubbing together. There we go, there's a peacock butterfly, looking gorgeous, just sunning himself. So you can see the sides here of this path have been cut back, and that would have been done probably late last year, early this year. Get rid of the old growth, allows the new stuff to come through. Perfect environment for all these beautiful flowers to pop up. You can see some felling work has gone on here, just on the bank, just to protect the coast path. And in turn it's also providing kind of homes for various creatures. Another area here that's been cleared. You can see there's evidence of what used to be a bonfire. This will just be cutting back all of the stuff that is kind of sticking over the path. All the brash that you need to get rid of, otherwise it just dominates. And this allows, again, more reptiles to have space to bask, birds to find food, opens up the countryside just to increase that volume of creatures that you might find. Absolutely stunning. See the Gannel Estuary is where it comes out, meets the sea. That is Crantock Beach, one of the most popular beaches really in Cornwall. Not so busy today for obvious reasons. Just coming up to Rushy Green, National Trust land, through the Crantock Beach main car park, and we get something a bit different once we get to the top of these steps. We encounter a sand dune network. Lots of grassland, sand dunes all kind of intermingling. Great place to spot some wildlife. You get lots of rabbits who live there. And of course, they can bring their own predators. Often can see buzzards hanging around looking for weaker rabbits to prey on. So much activity in the air, it's brilliant, I love it. Got these St Mark's flies who only come out very rarely. Not rarely, sorry, they only come out one time per year, this time of the year. You look a bit like kind of drones from a Star Wars film, I always think. You have their legs hanging down, and I can't remember what the drone is, but definitely there's a similarity. But anyway, here we are. I don't know whether it is, you can find them here, but you can certainly find them a bit further down the coast. But a national rarity butterfly, silver studded blue, likes this kind of environment. Yeah, Gwithian, you get absolutely loads of them. They're called silver studded blues because of the stud on the underside of their wing, silver, hence the name. A little bit different to common blue, which you can also find, you can definitely find here. A bit early for them, a bit later to come around, I think June, July for the blues. But yeah, you can see here this landscape, completely different to what we've walked so far. Expect to see more wildlife here. So the dunes network is coming to an end, and we make our way back right towards the coast path. It is certainly heating up, so now might be a good time just to stop for a minute, have something to drink, observe the scenery that we're leaving, and look forward to what's coming next. It's another change, dramatic change in landscape. I've already had 4 or 5. It just keeps changing. It's such a good walk. So that noise you can hear are Fulmars, member of the gull family. I always think they're much prettier than a normal gull. It's amazing what you can witness, you know, when you just take a time to sit down and see what's going on in nature. I just saw a herring gull trying to down an enormous starfish. He's still over there playing with it. I mean, I know they've got big mouths and they like eating lumps out of your pasty, but really, a starfish? It's a pretty big one. I can't tell you the species, but just hilarious to see. Yeah, this is what you can find when you go out for a walk like this and just take some time out and see what's going on. Sights that you just wouldn't get to see otherwise. Another good reason to keep your dog maybe on a lead is these sinkholes. A long way down. I'm going to keep walking up over the top of the cliff. Obviously important not to get too close. You can't tell which parts have been eroded, kind of inland, and which parts are a bit more safer, so just stick to a good wide berth of the edge. And yeah, particularly important if you've got dogs. So around the headland we now come to Polyjoke Beach, which is where we're going to be walking inland. Another stunning cove, very popular with holidaymakers. Just absolutely gorgeous. Just the landscape around here is fantastic. This is a great place to see kestrels, often hawking in the sky, hovering, looking for little creatures, little voles and mice on the ground. You often see them right on these headland areas. I haven't seen any seals today, but normally Polyjoke is a pretty good spot to find them. There's a beach over there. When the sea is a bit higher, they often take refuge there, particularly in a bad storm. Just in front of me is a Skylark. There he goes, just takes off. You can hear Skylarks before you see them often. They just make this constant singing, which is just, it never really stops. Just this chorus of beautiful bird song, often overhead. You often kind of walk on the grass and they fly up and they start singing away, almost like they're annoyed that you've come in to disturb them. They probably are. So we're now on the path from Polyjoke Beach, going up to Cubert Common. Again, you can hear different birds. You can hear pheasant calling, chiff-chaff in the trees over there somewhere. Speckled wood butterfly on its favourite habitat. Sat amongst some bluebells. They've yet to come out properly. You can see another few more up there, dancing in the sun. Beautiful butterflies. They're brown with white blotchy spots. Pretty common, but always lovely to see. There he is. Just walking through Cubert Common. Great little place to explore. I'm going to stick to the path that we're following. Going to walk up through what is during the summer a pretty popular holiday park, although it doesn't really look like one. It used to be part of an old, well, it used to be a working farm, and obviously they've changed things up. Doing pretty well in tourism, I guess. But yeah, lovely area around here. But yeah, it's a quiet village, quiet road, but obviously just have to bear in mind that cars are moving around, so just respect that. Keep dogs and children under control and all that. Yeah, just enjoy the walk through the village. As you see, garden birds, often their feeders. Goldfinch, green finch, blue tit. Beautiful little small birds all over the place. Different kind of landscape we're going into again. As we kind of come back round now, kind of walking back on ourselves a little bit, but still a completely new area. Just come from Triago farm. So, next part. So we just walked through main road through Crantock village. Just going to go around the garden here, out the other side, and that will link us back up with the Gannel. Already seen some more butterflies to add to the list, holly blue, which you can see in your garden, very pale blue, small flitty little thing. So yeah, we're just crossing the road, past the round garden, down this street. We're just walking up the hill, back to when we're going to start making our way back down to the estuary. Going up through these lanes with these high bank hedges, which are great for all kinds of wildlife. Lots of birds and mammals residing in them. You can always tell you're near the coast from this plant, which is called Alexander's, all over the place. It was a plant that said to have been brought over by the Romans to use in their salads, I believe. So it's an edible plant. I've never tried it in a proper salad. I've had a nibble on it, and it's all right. It's a bit lettucey, I guess. But yeah, it's a coastal kind of plant. You'll always find it growing in and around coastlines. At the moment we're just making our way back to the estuary, to the coast, and this beautiful lane here. Here again, so much bird life. Back it's where the crows are. Some amazing statues here. Feats of engineering with these rocks. That's really pretty. Someone's had fun. They're always here. So this stream leads out to the Gannel. And we're going to be hopefully crossing the tidal bridge. Seeing a bit of life from the other side. Walking over the bridge. Sometimes see quite large fish on either side. I've seen some flatfish there a few times. The last part of our walk takes us over the other side, just walking across the other side of the Gannel. So this road we're walking down now will take us on to Gannel Road, which is where we started our walk. It's taken about 3 hours to do, although you can do it quicker or slower depending on what you want to do, whether you want to stop, what you want to see. Hope you found this guide some use and use the walk for yourself. Take the same route, deviate it a bit, but it's a really good round walk. You get to see so many different landscapes, and yeah, just enjoy it and enjoy it while we've got the sun. Thank you.